You're finally making that big move, starting a new career, but you're supposed to move to Moline, Illinois, and you're just really not sure if that's the smart move? Well, in this video, I cover 7 reasons why you should not move to Moline, Illinois. Let's get started. How's it going, everyone? Alex Skeen here. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know what it's like to work, eat, sleep, and play in the Quad Cities, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to get notified every single time we upload a new video. And honestly, guys, we get so many calls, texts, emails from folks like you who are either moving or relocating to this area, and we absolutely love it. So if that's you, give us a call, send us a text, heck, send the Pony Express if you want to. We're here for you. Moline honestly has a lot of great things to offer, but when moving to a new location, you're probably curious about the reasons why you shouldn't be moving there. I hope this video will shed some light on a few of those reasons for Moline. And my gosh, number 7, you're going to want to stick around for because it is the most jarring. There's a saying to our neighbors to the west of us in the great state of Iowa, and that is Iowa nice. Iowa nice is talking about the people of Iowa, and since we are not too terribly far from that state, we get some of those traits as well here in Moline, Illinois. Yes, the people of Moline are super friendly and super polite. Now, you'll always get those 1 or 2s that are not, but for the most part, the people of Moline, Illinois are very friendly. If you're moving here from a culture that isn't that way, it may be kind of shocking to you. More than likely, you might be walking down the street, down a bike path, and somebody's going to be waving and smiling at you. Don't be alarmed. It's just the way that people are here in Moline. So think about it. If this is something that concerns you about the people, maybe this isn't the place for you because that's just the temperament of most people here in Moline, Illinois. Number 2 on my list is something to consider, and that is you are absolutely gonna need a car. Yeah, I said it. Moline is a population of about 41,000 people, and because of that, their public transportation system is not the greatest. They do have one, I'll give them that, but it's not going to get you everywhere you possibly need to go. So if you're working on one side of town and need to get to the other, most likely you're going to need a car to do that. Now there are other options, just not public transportation, and that is Uber or Lyft. We do have that in Moline, so if that's something you want to do, it is an option, but most likely you're going to be needing a car. And as we all know, gas prices are on the rise right now, so if that's something that's important to you, maybe you should not be moving to Moline, Illinois. Number 3 on my list is for those young professionals out there thinking about moving to Moline, Illinois, and that is the dating scene. I have recently come off the dating scene, so I don't know what it's like in the last 2 years, but when I was out there trying to do it myself, it was not the easiest to do. Moline has about 41,000 people, and the surrounding areas of the Quad Cities only about 500. That kind of limits amount of people that are young and single out there, so it's something to think about. Now, it's not impossible. I told you I just recently came off the dating scene about 2 years ago, and I absolutely love it. Although, I think my waistline's getting a little bigger because my girlfriend is a pretty dang good cook, and I like to eat. So, something to consider if you're coming for a dating scene. Well, maybe it's not a bad thing to be single because it's a little hard on your waistline. Although, that being said, I think it's a great place to be, and there is options to talk to young professionals like yourself. So, something to consider, not a deal breaker, but something definitely to consider. Number 4 on my list is something that you could possibly do if you do have success in the dating scene, and that's Whitey's Ice Cream. Now, I put this as something that to consider is because when you move here, every single person is going to talk to you about Whitey's Ice Cream, and honestly, it gets quite annoying. When I moved here 6 years ago, I had no idea what it was, but they've transformed me, and honestly, if you meet me, I'm probably going to be mentioning Whitey's Ice Cream. It is a great ice cream that was locally produced back in the 1930s and is still operating today. It is amazing. My favorite ice cream that they have there is Moose Tracks. So even if you're just visiting for a job interview or whatnot, you really need to go try Whitey's and be prepared for people to ask you if you've had it and what your favorite ice cream is there, because it's very popular and you're probably going to get annoyed with the amount of people that are going to be asking you about it. In fact, it's so popular that you'll find people around the buildings, even in the dead of winter, which honestly is not the best time to eat ice cream, but I'm right there with them, so that's something to think about. 5 on my list is a little cliche, but it is something to think about if you're not from the Midwest, and that is our seasons. Yes, we have all 4 seasons here in the Quad Cities and in Moline. That includes spring, summer, winter, and fall. And spring and fall are probably my favorite. Typically in the spring, you're going to get those spring rains, be in the 40s and 50s, and once in a while in the early spring, you'll still be getting snow. During the summer, I don't like it. Personally, it's just too hot for me, but it's only because of the humidity. We have a lot of humidity in the area because of all the cornfields that are around. So if you're not somebody that likes hot and humid, Moline may not be for you. Once summer's over, is my absolutely favorite time of year, and that is the fall. I love the fall, hang out with friends around a nice bonfire, watch some football games, go to Halloween parties, all of those fun things and activities that you can do in the fall time. They're amped up here in Moline, Illinois. And then the winter time is obviously going to be the coldest time of year. Yes, we see snow. Yes, we see cold temperatures. We'll see snow drifts up to 12 inches tall and temperatures down into the negative 40s. So if you're coming here from one of the sand states, well, the winters might be a little shocking to you. And just like the Whitey's ice cream, people are always going to ask you, have you ever experienced a winter like this? Yes, it happens all the time, so be prepared for that question. And it's something to really think about if you haven't ever experienced a Midwest winter. So be prepared for it. Not a deal breaker, but just be ready for it. Number 6 on my list is Moline, Illinois is not a vacation location. You heard it. It is not the place to go and take a vacation. Yes, there are things to do around here, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that draws in vacationers from all over the world. There are things like the John Deere Pavilion. So if you really like John Deere, this may be something to do on a weekend, but it's not going to keep you around to do a vacation here. And you got places like Sylvan Island, which is an island out in the Mississippi. Cool place to take your dog on a walk, so I highly recommend it. But Moline is definitely not a vacation spot. Although Moline is not a vacation spot, it still has the option to leave and go to vacation spots. And that's because of our international airport. And I say international airport loosely, as it is international because it can go to Canada and Mexico. But it does get you out of the area, and it does take you to vacation destinations as well. When going to the Moline International Airport, you got to consider a couple of things. It is a smaller airport, so it's not going to be a lot of direct flights to locations that you want to go to. You're most likely going to be having layovers in Denver or Chicago, and the prices of the tickets are going to be a little bit higher. But it does save you the time of not having to drive to Chicago, pay Chicago prices as far as parking goes. So it's a great asset to the community, and I highly recommend that you use it if you do decide to move to Moline. Glad you guys stuck around for number 7, because number 7 is going to be the most jarring for you. Biggest complaint that most Illinois people have, and that's the taxes. Taxes in Illinois are super high. In fact, the state of Illinois is ranked 49th out of 50 states for having the highest amount of taxes. This just doesn't include property taxes. It has taxes on gas, it has taxes on your properties, it has taxes on income, it has taxes on almost everything. But locally here in Moline, it's located in Rock Island County. And Rock Island County is ranked 18th out of 102 counties for taxes and property taxes. So if you're thinking about moving here, buying a home, you really got to consider those taxes because it's going to impact your monthly budget a lot. Something to consider, and one reason you may not want to move to Moline, Illinois. This video had a lot of different things going on here, but you're still thinking about moving to Moline? Well, check out this video to find out if that's really the right decision.